big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big. That's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team count, that's a big number.
Not a day in my life, long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the New York Jets. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. No bigger stage than this one. Sold out MetLife Stadium, located just outside of New York City. Today, we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the New York Jets. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Check, 48's the mic. Red 80. Red 80. Here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now it's Hines. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A first down throw, Darnold. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And it's a fumble. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Switch. 36. Red 80.
They'll run on first down. It's Hines. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Darnold from the red zone now. Rolling to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target there was Jason Kroom. And it's second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
On second down, it's Bell. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw is Darnold. Herndon hauls it in for the Jet touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch Derek Carr grow as a pro. When he was a rookie, they tried to game plan around him so that he didn't have too much responsibility. Now, I don't think they can heap enough things on his shoulders because they know he can handle them.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 27. Now Carr. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. They come in as a 3 seed in this, very likely the last home game of the season for them, even if they win this one. But while they wanted one of those top 2 spots, they're still in a pretty good position.
They are, and let's face it, any team that gets into the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, they're in a good position because they're doing what the rest of the league wants. A lot of people are sitting at home watching them, but you made a good point. Everyone is vying for one of the top 2 spots. You get an opening, you get a week off, don't have to play that opening week, and then you get a chance to collect yourself and see how everything else falls. But all in all, number 3 spot, they'll take it and run with it.
Yeah, maybe they get a win here and get some momentum. From the 22, Darnold, throw complete to Herndon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Check. Fresno. Oh, 80. Right there in the middle. 55.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold, he'll buy some time right. Caught by his tight end, Wesco. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll try the right side with Bell. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically...
Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Set. 55. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Now Bell, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell taking it in. And the Jets will extend their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result? 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Now Carr, the open man here, Renfro. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing his... And it's Williams. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 40.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Shotgun now for Carr. He's got his man. It's Williams. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 17-yard line. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
The Raiders on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out here.
Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll run it with Bell. And the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Here we go, D.
They'll run for it with Hines. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So the defensive front holding strong there on 4th and inches.
And how about the battle of big people up front? That turned into a leverage game, didn't it? Defensive linemen, they won it. Lower than the offensive guys, pushed them back, knifed through, and made a great play.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw is Carr. They'll run the screen with Mack. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
No room to be had there on the 1st down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Carr now to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off here, the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Henry Anderson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On third and long, it's Carr. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Hines. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Switch!
They run again with Hines. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line.
Check 4. Red 80. Red 80.
This is Bell. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold being chased out left. Going for it all. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Jets will extend their lead. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting...
Le'Veon Bell. Touchdown, Jets.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Brian Poole. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. This is Hines. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Hey, switch gears. Switch gears. Ready? 48 for Mike. Check. Protein spill. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Stop your body. Jim. Ready? Yo, 80. We got double up.
On second down now. It's Hines, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. They'll run on first down. Hines, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 22, Darnold. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Jets on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That's good. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. First down. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
Chance. Red lady.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing on 2nd down. Darnold forced out to his left. He's going to take that. And Darnold, he lost the football. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
No problem there on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
The throw complete here to Williams. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Now it's Mack, draw play. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The linebacker C.J. Mosley in on the stop. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Carr going to throw. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And now back out comes the offense. And they have made this look easy. I mean, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the carry, it's Cannon. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung here.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, yeah. Backside guys,
meh.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain. This was boxing. You think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered, but this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
On second down, this is Cannon. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a third and about 5.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
A loss of a yard. It's fourth down.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.